let's cut to the chase. This is the 2019 Kia Stinger in its Canadian base model, which is the GT line all-wheel drive. It comes with a 4-cylinder 2.0-liter turbo engine that makes 255 horsepower and 260 pound-feet of torque. It is mated to a pretty good 8-speed automatic that completes the drivetrain package. There's no limited slip differential in the back like in the GT model, and in terms of driving assist stuff, this only gets blind spot monitors. You also don't get a sunroof, you don't get the big Brembo brakes in the front. You get this shift-by-wire kind of shifter, which actually feels pretty nice because it's really cool to hold on to. I mean, the GT model gets the electronic shifter that looks different. This one I like, but the best part of this car is a sub $40,000 Canadian price tag. That's right, this is under $40,000. Now that is a steal. But hold on a second. For $5,000 more, you get a bigger screen, a bigger engine, more power, a limited slip differential, better brakes, adaptive suspension. Why bother buying this one? Well, the truth is that the Kia Stinger is a looker, which means a lot of people will be stretching their budget to get one. So for those counting dollars, Kia once again delivers. The Kia Stinger is a big car, and it's a hatchback, or fastback if you prefer. There's only one other car I can think of which is a similar style, and that's the BMW 4 Series Gran Coupe, which in similar spec is quite a lot more money. It has some pros and cons, like these awesome swooping lines that apparently were inspired by a Coke bottle. But it also has a mixture of real and fake vents. Inside, I really like the design and the way it totally throws the soft-to-the-touch materials right in your face. And despite being a bit prone to scuffing, I do like the piano black. Fit and finish is good. It all seems absolutely fine. The driving position can be adjusted to your liking, but to my surprise, I am thrilled to tell you that the seat can actually go all the way to the floor. Like, you can sit really low. So at that point, your body and your legs form a really nice angle. So everything is very low, which I like, and all race car drivers appreciate. This thing is really awesome. Like, it really feels like a proper sports car just because you can sit this way. And the steering wheel itself, it looks great and feels great. The seats, despite being a simpler version of the ones in the GT, they still support the body very well, but they do have a little hard bottom for your bottom. A lot of people have been questioning the visibility on the Stinger, and a lot of reviewers have been trashing it because of the rear window being too small. Well, let me tell you, the window is small, but you can see through it. It's not that big of a deal. The mirrors, if you set them properly, you can cover most of your blind spots, and you can also see what's behind you. So, yes, it's not the best, but is it a problem? No. And when parking, you do get a very good camera system, so no worries there. The trunk is very accessible and seems quite large. On paper, it's massive, it's 660 liters, but the irregular shape might make it less usable than it sounds. Overall, though, it is great. Which brings us to the rear seats. You see, this is a big car. This won, actually, the Canadian Large Car of the Year before it won the overall Canadian Car of the Year. I mean, the door opening is okay. You can get in and out quite easily. But for the size of the car, you get inside and you notice two things. This seat is where I drive. I'm 5'10 and a half. So I barely have enough knee room. I barely have enough headroom. But the problem is, I have feet. And my feet have nowhere to go. Like, I need to actually tuck my feet all the way to the back just so they can fit. Because if I want it to be seated properly, the seat back goes all the way to the bottom, and I don't fit. So I either need to become Charlie Chaplin, or I need to chop half of my foot off and just buy doggy shoes instead. But enough with the bad stuff now. Kia sells this car as a GT, so screw the people sitting in the back, and let's see how this baby drives. As we mentioned earlier, under the hood, you get a sweet 2.0-liter turbo engine that is capable of pretty good 0 to 100 km/h times, and some pretty impressive quarter-mile times as well, at least for what it is. So performance in general is not going to be much of a problem, even if you buy the 4-cylinder. All engines available in the Stinger require premium gas. My average so far has been 12.3 liters per 100 kilometers. That is with quite a lot of city though. And let me tell you, when I first received the car, the average from the previous guy was at 9.3. So he probably was doing more highway, or he's a better driver than me. Who knows? I recently had the opportunity to drive a Genesis G70 Sport, which was rear-wheel drive with the manual. And I didn't really like it that much because it had very noticeable turbo lag. However, this one, because it is automatic with a torque converter, that means that the torque converter holds torque, and that torque fills that gap perfectly. So turbo lag is really not noticeable here. So overall, my driving experience in this Stinger is much better than in the G70. Also, these cars don't have that much power. So in the 2-liter variants, the G70, even being rear-wheel drive with a limited slip differential, it doesn't really mean that you can take it sideways. I mean, they grip very well. So it's not that, it's sideways fun all the time. So the all-wheel drive system actually is adjustable, so you can put it in a sport mode, which favors the rear wheels. So when you're actually going really fast, and then you can weight shift and kind of make it go sideways, the joy, the fun, it's still all there. So having an exclusively rear-wheel drive car in Canada, I don't find it as an advantage over having a sport all-wheel drive. So in general, I like the Stinger more than the G70 Sport. However, I have not driven an automatic 4-cylinder Genesis, so that might be good too. Dynamically, the Stinger and the G70 have their own personalities. I mean, the G70 feels smaller and nimbler and kind of more eager to follow your inputs. However, the Stinger is more balanced. The suspension has been tuned very well between comfort and handling. The steering feels really precise. I mean, I'm really enjoying the steering, especially in sport mode. So I set up my driving mode in custom, so I have everything in comfort except the all-wheel drive and the steering, which I put in sport. And let me tell you, it's a better experience. Also, I like the Stinger, like the visual. It's a less luxurious and more sporty kind of thing, and that suits my personality more. So in general, I really like the Stinger more than the G70. When you drive it hard, this thing really starts to shine, and you really understand that, okay, that guy that came over from BMW is onto something, because these cars are fantastic to drive. The handling is actually very good. Dynamically, they will initially kind of understeer, but then the rear will correct itself and come into the game and try to go around. You know what? This thing might be really fun on a track. And the paddle shifters are not that slow. I mean, they're not BMW ZF fast, but they're not lacking that much. I mean, woohoo! This is so much fun. Like, honestly, that guy from BMW, he kind of carried over the knowledge and the feeling and everything, and good for him. Wow, this is so much fun. Honestly, a Kia that handles like this, come on. We're in for a new era of Kia models after this. Whoever smack talks Kia needs to be beaten in a corner, honestly. Like, yeah, respect. The question everybody asks is, okay, let's put it in sport mode. Let's kill stability control completely, which you can do, which is awesome. Put in a little bit of a lower gear, and then let's tackle a corner and see what happens. Yeah, it goes sideways. It's once you carry the speed, so from stopped, it's not gonna do it. But once you, oh yeah, this is fantastic. It's gonna put a smile on your face all day long, I guarantee. It is freaking sweet. Okay, overall score. The Stinger is a very fun car. It looks amazing. It's quite affordable. I mean, I would personally buy the GT model just because. I will give it an honorable 9 out of 10. So, great job, Kia. Love the Stinger. Love the 4-cylinder even. I don't know. I like this car a lot. Hope you do too.
Perfect.